having loaded the camera with film that doesn't matter, junk film, you could run the camera so that all the film appears on the take-up spool. That would be time-consuming, but the biggest problem is you would end up with the sprocket holes on the wrong side. So it's best, when you've done your first practice loading, to rewind the film. So do you remember earlier on when I was mentioning all the controls on the side, I mentioned this control here. Now this control disconnects the motor, and you need to disconnect the motor before you can rewind. So this lever here, you see it's got motor and 0, so you need to pop that down to 0. You get a little bit of resistance there. It's on a spring, as you see, and there's a bit of resistance when you get there. That disconnects the motor. Do you remember I said there's various positions? You see it doesn't work now because the motor is disconnected. Various positions for this, single frame, run all the time, and it will click and stay there. Yeah, so you need to do it in that order. You need to disconnect the motor, you need to put it on run all the time, and then this particular shaft here with a little anti-clockwise arrow, you connect this little crank handle, a rewind handle is connected to that shaft there, and you just crank it in an anti-clockwise direction, and you can see that this meter here, footage meter, is moving. We're back to 0. Remember, we wound on, well, we've used quite a bit of film, well, not used, but we've put film through the camera and we've gone beyond 0. You can see it's going in the other direction now, and you can often hear it go back through the gate. But once it reaches the FT position here, you can usually be assured, I just heard it actually go back through the gate then. A few more turns after that FT appears and it will have gone back through the gate. Now remember I said earlier you do the motor first, then you do the shutter release secondly. Well, once you've actually rewound, you then need to turn the camera off and then reconnect the motor. And did you see how it sprung back up instantly? If that was still in position, the camera would start moving then. So that's very important to do it in that order. So once you've rewound the film, put that back to stop, reconnect the motor, yeah? Turn the camera over, take the cover off, and if you remember, there's this lever here that pops off the spools, any spools, either take-up spools or full spools on the spindles here, pops them off, and you've got your junk film back as it was before, with the sprocket holes on the right side, i.e. hanging down to your right, sprocket holes away from you. It's ready to put back in the camera again if you need to rehearse, practice loading a Bolex again. Thank you very much.